The Texas Rangers have staked their claim, winning 2 straight title bouts. Tonight, the division card begins with Oakland. In one corner, a man who has thrown a power punch against the Rangers. In the other, an upstart making an impact in his first 2017 fight. Be ringside for Rangers A's in the main event. Welcome to Texas Rangers baseball, presented by AT&T. It is the first weekend of the regular season, and fans filing in in hopes of catching the local 9 in their first win of 2017. The Rangers and Oakland A's from Globe Life Park here in Arlington. Great to be with you tonight, and thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Raymond, alongside Mr. Ranger Tom Grieve. And look, the Cleveland Indians were a tough start for this Rangers team. It's all fine and good. That's behind us. The real season begins now. 22 of the next 29 in division.
It's so important, Dave, to play well within your division. To win your division, you almost have to play well within your division. Last year, the Rangers won 95 games. That's 28 games over 500. They were 47-29, 18 games over 500 within their division. They took care of business within their division, especially against the Astros. They were 15-4 against the Astros.
All right, so now tonight, though, if they're going to take care of the Oakland A's, and these two teams have fought tooth and nail the last 4 years, they got to find a way to stop Chris Davis.
You know, Chris Davis, not many people around baseball know much about Chris Davis. He had 42 home runs last year. 10 of them came against the Rangers. In your pregame meeting, when you discuss the other team, if there's ever a guy you say, don't let this guy beat you, it's Chris Davis of the Oakland A's.
No doubt about that. Meanwhile, for the Rangers, they will go with A.J. Griffin. First start of the season for him. He's had a great offseason, going against his former ball club tonight. I'm really excited to see what he's got.
I'm sure he is, too, pitching against his former team. You know, in 2013, he went 14-10 for the A's. Over a year-and-a-half period, he was 21-11. Then he had injuries for 2 seasons. He came back last year, did some nice things for the Rangers, but I don't think he was ever 100% healthy. He was a little bit out of shape. He's in the best shape he's ever been in. His arm feels great. He feels great about this start, and like you, I'm looking forward to it myself.
All right, the other thing we'll look forward to, can Nomar Mazara keep up his hot pace? 7 hits with some power in that series against Cleveland. Lineups coming up. Affairs with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Beautiful night tonight here at Globe Life Park. All the proper preparations in place for a good ball game. Look, you got to practice it if you're going to do it right. Well, I mentioned a pleasant evening for baseball. Still more of that wind, 15 miles per hour again tonight. 76 degrees here at game time. Absolutely ideal conditions for the opener of this series with the Oakland A's. Let's, for the first time tonight, check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Dave, A.J. Griffin getting the ball for the Rangers, his first start of the 2017 season, and through the first 3 starts, this pitching staff, particularly the starters, have had an issue with the walks. A.J. says he wants to learn from that. He wants to be assertive in his approach. He used the term, use conviction in his delivery. He said, look, I'm not ever going to try to be too perfect, which is what you hear a lot of times when pitchers walk a lot of guys. They're trying to be too fine or too perfect. He's like, look, I don't have the stuff to be perfect, so I don't have to worry about trying to be that, trying to be something that I'm not. And he wants to take his laid-back approach that he has off the mound onto that and see if it can't work for him, not only tonight, but going down the road, guys.
Yeah, and I would say that that's a very apt description of AJ, his personality and his philosophy on the mound. He is that guy. I mean, he talks about how fun it is to pitch a Major League Baseball game and not trying to take some of the things too seriously. And Lord knows, Tag, we saw it last year. He's pitching to contact. He throws it up there, go ahead, give it your best whack.
Yeah, and I think the key for AJ is the bases on balls. He has to cut his walks down from last year, which I'm sure he will. He's always going to be a little bit prone to the home run ball. Even in the year where he went 14-10 for the A's, he gave up 36 home runs. You can give up the home runs as long as there's not guys on base who have walked ahead of those home runs. So don't worry about the home runs, just cut down the walks.
All right, so let's take a look at the lineup that he will face tonight from the Oakland A's. And they started the year 2-2, splitting a 4-game series with Anaheim. Stephen Vogt right in the middle of things, their all-star selection the last 2 years. Interesting, they have Rajai Davis coming back to Oakland, having spent a few years there prior. He and Matt Joyce at the top of the order. The one thing they have not done well is get those two on base in front of the big hitters in the middle. We'll see how that changes tonight as we look at A.J. Griffin.
Yeah, last season for the Rangers, A.J. had 23 starts. His ERA looks a little bit high, 5.07, but in those 23 starts and the 7-4 record were a lot of important games that he pitched when he joined the rotation. Played a big part behind the scenes, kind of, in the Rangers' 95-win season where they won the division. And I know A.J.'s looking to build on that season and get back to being the kind of pitcher he was in 2013 with the A's.
And you referenced it earlier, Tom. He really worked hard in the offseason, lost some weight, got a little more fit, and he starts us off with ball 1 to Rajai Davis.
Yeah, it's so evident if you go back to looking at him on the mound last year and this year, how much thinner he is this year.
Well, the first ball in play tonight, a routine fly ball to center field and 1 away. Rangers defense tonight delivered to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
Well, Jeff Bannister emphasized defense in spring training. Important part of the program in spring training coming into the season. Pretty much the standard setup defensively. Carlos Gomez in center, Mazar in right. Profar gets the start in left field tonight. Ryan Rua, Delano DeShields will also play out there. Joey Gallo is at third in place of Adrian. Lucroy behind the plate, Napoli at first.
Fastball in there for a strike to Matt Joyce. Batting second again tonight for Oakland. 1 for 9 in the 3 games in which he played against Anaheim, and he'll swing at the next pitch but hook it foul. Oh, babe, nice play out there. Yeah, I gave you the
Catch
ball.
A ball, you got a kiss. I'm not giving it to you for nothing.
There we go.
What a way to start the game off.
Problem is, I mean, how much more can he accomplish tonight? I mean, he's already kind of hit the pinnacle here in the first inning.
Long way to go, big guy.
Nicely done.
The night's just beginning.
1-2 to Joyce. And that'll even it up. A.J. Griffin has talked a little bit too. I mean, look, he was out for 2 years. And that was tough. He had to battle through Tommy John surgery, some shoulder problems. Fly ball to center. Gomez with a long run, and he'll get that one back right at the wall. Whoa. He may have just saved a run.
We got to get a chance to watch this and watch a center fielder track this ball perfectly. He looks at the wall. He looks at the ball. He times his jump perfectly. He gets to the wall, knows exactly where it is, so that when he gets there, he can now go straight up and over the wall to make a terrific catch. When you play it like that, it's a relatively easy catch. You get to the wall, you jump up and you catch it. You make it hard when you drift after the ball and jump into the wall. Sometimes you don't get high enough to catch the ball when you do that, but he's played out there before. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Well, that is Gold Glove defense in center field from Carlos Gomez. 2 away. And the first pitch in there for a strike to Ryan Healy.
That really is the key for an outfielder. Don't drift after the ball and try and time it. Get to the ball so that you're waiting for it to come down. He didn't have that luxury, but he had that ball perfectly timed, and I think if you asked him, he would tell you he had that ball all the way.
That thing seemed to carry a little bit,
Sure
right?
did.
I kept thinking, well, that one's going to come down, but it hung.
Well, based on the first 3 games of the season, it looks to right field anyway like the ball is carrying pretty well. A lot of those balls have been hit pretty well too. But early in the year, they seem to be jumping.
2-1 to Healy. That ball hit well center field. Gomez back, and he'll make the play. Well, what else do you need? Just put Carlos Gomez out there in center field, and he'll take care of it all. Tying a record held by many. A scoreless top of the first. Here come the Rangers. To that guy right there who's going to lead it off as we take a look at our Southwest batting order for the Rangers. No wins, 3 losses, and they want to get it started early tonight. They will go with Gomez, Chu, and then Nomar Mazara. How about that? First player in Rangers history with multiple hits, extra base hits, and runs in the first 3 games of the season. Jurickson Profar with a start in left field today. Bats 9th. Elvis Andrus has real good numbers, real good success against tonight's starter for the Oakland A's. And we'll get into that in just a little bit as well. Raul Alcantara.
Yeah, Alcantara has a solid fastball, low to mid 90s, good changeup. 5 starts with the A's last year, didn't go all that well for him, but only 22 innings. Young pitcher, out of options, getting an opportunity with Sonny Gray on the disabled list.
He works with a pretty up-tempo style, and it's 1-1 on Carlos Gomez. It was funny listening to Emily talk about A.J. Griffin's attitude about pitching, having that conviction, going after guys. This ball hit hard but foul. 1-2. Alcantara, that's part of his makeup, is he feels like, look, this is what I've got. And by all reports, and we've seen him a couple of times last year, he gets the ball, he throws it. Gomez 1 for 10 in that first series. Stays alive at 1-2. The one for Carlos Gomez was a very impressive home run here on Monday night. And he'll bloop this one over the infield into shallow center, and it drops in, base hit. Gomez going to pedal for two. The throw, not in time.
Well, that's aggressive base running. With a cut fastball, hit it right off the end of the bat, dumped it into the outfield. And if you loaf to first base, you don't have a chance to get to second. You see the ball hit off the end of the bat, but he's moving out of the box. He was thinking single until he saw the outfielder having a little bit of a problem with the ball, at least taking a little too much time. And then he turned on the jets, and there's the camera shot of the slide into second base, turned a single into a double. That's the aggressive base running that you love to see from your ball club.
That's terrific effort to get this thing started.
Tells the outfielders, you want to keep him from doing the same thing again, you better get to it quicker and get the ball into the infield.
Now Chu, who is 2 for 10 against the Indians, and he hits one on the ground to second base. Jed Lowry will retire him, but Gomez, because of that great hustle, stays out of a double play, and now is just 90 feet away.
Yeah, good point. That's pretty much a routine double play if he doesn't stretch it into a double. Take a look at the A's defense. Stephen Vogt is behind the plate. He's been an all-star the last couple of years. Rajai Davis in center field. Marcus Semien at shortstop has been with the A's for a couple of years now. Came over from the White Sox. Terrific young player. Jed Lowry, the veteran, is at second. Yonder Alonso, very good defensive first baseman, is at first. Trevor Plouffe, first year with the A's. Been with the Twins most of his career, his whole career.
Now Nomar Mazara, and he takes a strike. Now Mazara really was impressive in those first 3 games against the Indians. 7 for 12, 2 doubles, a home run, drove in the 3 runs. Only struck out once in the 3-game series. Lays off a pretty good pitch there.
Yeah, you could tell a guy's swinging the bat pretty well in those 3 games. Most hits first 3 games of the season. There's a couple of golden oldies. Pete O'Brien and Jim Sundberg. 8 hits in the first 3 games of the season. They lead the Rangers in that category.
Nomar tied with some good ones there. Vlad Guerrero. Little tight, 2-1.
I'm talking about Nomar in the first 3 games. He pulls the home run 400+ feet into the upper deck in right field. And then against a tough reliever, he gets a fastball up and away and somehow got on top of the ball and hit a solid ground ball down the left field line for a double in an important part of the ball game. So he's using the whole field, hitting all different kinds of pitches.
Puts this one on the ground to first. Alonso will grab it, get the out at first. Throws to the plate, not in time. Gomez gets in around the tag. Wow.
That's good anticipation. He was going on contact, got a good jump. Obviously, he's got pretty good speed, and then a great slide. If he goes feet first, Vogt probably blocks the plate, but he goes to the outside and just sneaks his arm underneath the tag into the plate. Alonso comes home with a good throw, and there's nothing to tag. His fingers touched the corner of home plate, and when Vogt went to tag, he came up empty, whiffed on it. Nice slide, good hustle. There's stealing a run right there.
Well, if his goal was to come into this series and really add a spark after a tough opening series against the Indians, I would suggest that Carlos Gomez has done just that, defensively and offensively, in this first inning.
Let's see if we missed anything here. We'll take a look at it.
That's interesting. The guy's indicating that maybe Alonso came off the bag early before throwing to the plate.
No, I don't think he ever touched the bat. Let's see.
Oh yeah, maybe he missed it completely.
Yeah, it's tough to say, but I'm thinking, did anything happen at home? No, there's no play at home. Well, maybe the umpire said he came off the bag and he didn't. I think that's what the A's are saying on this play.
Yeah, the A's are the ones
they
reviewing and challenging.
It, so the call at first must have been safe, and the A's are saying that the foot was on the bag. There's no question on the play at the plate. It didn't appear anyway.
It's funny because there are two things, I guess, that they could challenge. As far as we know, he could have imagined that, that Gomez didn't touch the plate. I don't know. I did not see over at first the indication from our first base umpire Jerry Meals on the play.
Well, Mazara is on first, so I've got to think that he called him safe, and I have to think that right there is what the A's are challenging. I don't know if you can say from that angle that his foot is on the bag to overturn the call.
Well, definitely not on the angle that we saw. You can't. I don't think you could overturn. And that's the thing. I mean, whatever the call was on the field, it really, you've got to come up with something good enough to overturn it. I didn't see it on that replay. You see the 2-minute guideline this year for replay officials back in New York to make their decision, and that was an initiative this offseason by Major League Baseball. The managers have to get to their decision quicker. They have 10 seconds to tell the umpires, hey, we're thinking about it. 30 seconds to say yes or no. But then back in New York, they're trying to hold themselves to a 2-minute timeline on making a decision. I think they may have exceeded it in this particular case. And that's just it. They're guidelines, Tag. They're not, explicit rules that you have to do it in 2 minutes.
The other possibility is that the umpire felt like he threw the ball before he stepped on the base. Now, we couldn't tell if he stepped on. He's going to be safe whether he stepped on the base or not. He definitely stepped near the base or on the base before he threw the ball. But I think when they looked at the replay, Dave, they said pretty much what you just said. He may have stepped on the bag, but we can't overturn it based on the angle that we just saw.
So Mazara is aboard, only 1 out in the inning now, and here's Mike Napoli. Napoli takes ball 1. Boy, you go back and you recreate this inning, Tom, and the speed of Carlos Gomez changed all 3 plays we've seen.
Well,
I mean, all 3 of them.
It looked like he took a home run back in center field. That saved a run. He stretched a single into a double, and with speed and a very evasive slide, scored a run. So you can pretty much count him for saving a run and adding a run.
It's 1-1. Think about, so his single turned into a double. All right, let's just say he settles for the single. Then that ground ball off Chu's bat is probably a double play. Hard to say for sure.
Yeah.
And then Mazara's subsequent ground ball to first is a routine out.
Yeah, if he stays at first and the other things happen the same way, that's exactly what it would have been.
2-1 to Mike Napoli, who had a hit, he had a double in that series against Cleveland.
But that's what we saw when Carlos Gomez joined the Rangers last year. He was an offensive catalyst, and he did play excellent defense in the outfield. So that's kind of what we expect from him. It's what he's done throughout his career.
2-1 from Alcantara. And this one is popped foul out of play. Saw that graphic there a moment ago about Mike Napoli and the extra base power that he has inflicted upon the Oakland A's in his career. He has 23 career home runs against Oakland. And that's the second highest total of home runs against the Oakland A's of any active player. The all-time leader among active players is on the disabled list in the Rangers dugout. And that's Adrian Beltre, who has 38. And Knapp has always done big-time damage against the Oakland A's.
Yeah, talking about the run that the Rangers have, you've got a blooper and 2 softly hit ground balls for the first 3 hitters, and out of that you manufacture a run.
Napoli strikes out. 2 gone in the first inning. That'll bring up Rougned Odor. A good opening series for Ruge, 4 for 12 with a couple of homers and 4 driven in. Thought it was remarkable on opening night, Tom. Brand new helmets with that matte finish, very nice look. And his was at least that dirty already.
I think he was working on it well before that game started. He said, I'll wear the new helmet, but I'm going to the old look.
He got it nice and dirtied up in a hurry. Zara at first with 2 away, and Alcantara with a long set. It's Odor to chase strike 1.
We talked about Ruge in those 3 games being in a good groove. I think the at-bat that really, one of the at-bats that really showed that, he didn't get a hit, but it was against Andrew Miller, a tough lefty. And Ruge fouled off a couple of pitches. He ended up making an out, but he had 2 great swings at that nasty slider that Miller throws, and he was right on him, just didn't hit him. And that's pretty good. When you see a left-hand hitter have those swings against Andrew Miller, pretty good indication that he is feeling pretty good. Last year in Yankee Stadium against Andrew Miller, he hit a 97-mile-an-hour fastball up and in into the upper deck in about a second, hit a line shot off that fastball. So he's handled that tough lefty pretty well.
Waits on an 0-2. Ruge will chase up.
Yeah, that's what he was. That's what he was thinking. Vogt said, "Let's have the high fastball," but that's a little too high to tempt the hitter.
This will be the 20th pitch of this first inning for Alcantara. He's had to work. And Odor sends it high in the air, deep to right field. Joyce looking up. It is gone. A home run. And that was a massive blast. 3rd of the year for Odor.
Well, you know, we talked about it. 0-2. They're trying to get him to chase a high fastball. The first high fastball was so high he didn't chase it. The next fastball was high. I don't think it was a strike, but when you're swinging the bat well, good things can still happen. This pitch is up, and it's a strike. It's a high strike. Maybe not as high as Alcantara wanted it to be. It's a strike. He probably wanted to throw it 6 or 8 inches out of the strike zone. Caught the top of the strike zone, and Ruge did what he's done a couple of times already this year.
And remarkable. That's the 7th team home run for the Rangers. They came in tied for 2nd in the American League, although with teams who had only played 3 games, they led. And all of them have been no-doubters. All but maybe 1 have been over 400 feet. I mean, these are some impressive shots. 3-0 Rangers. And the 2-0 to Jonathan Lucroy. Lifted high in the air out to center field. Davis ranging over. And the inning is over. But the Rangers get 3 in the first off Alcantara. Rougned Odor continuing to swing the hot bat for the local 9. 3-0. And time for our TXU Energy power player to watch, and it is Chris Davis, who last year was a royal pain for the Rangers. 21 hits last year, 16 for extra bases, 10 of them left the yard. Not fair. He was a tough out.
He wasn't, and he's got power from foul line to foul line.
1-1 the count. He got off to a good start too in their opening series at home against Anaheim. He went 5 for 12, hit a couple of home runs in that series along with a double, so up to his usual tricks. That one just a little bit up. 2-1. He might be a guy who doesn't get quite the accolades or attention that he deserves.
No, you hit 42 home runs in some other cities and people be talking about a little bit more than hitting 42 home runs in Oakland. But we talked about this when we talked about him, I think it was in the pregame show. If there's ever a guy on any team that you don't let beat you, it's Chris Davis. The A's have, I think, a challenged lineup. They don't have a lot of big hitters in their lineup. He's the one. And so if you have your choice, make anyone else beat you other than him. Some lineups you don't have that luxury because there's so many good hitters in the lineup. You pitch to one, you don't pitch to one, you have to pitch to the other. In this lineup, this is a guy with men on base in a close game. You just can't give him a good pitch to hit. There's a good changeup from AJ. Good location, great movement. You can see the grip in his hand when he let go of it. Good job right there.
His first strikeout of the night, and now goes after Stephen Vogt with strike one. Vogt, another guy who can run into one. He has a home run this year along with a double. 3 for 12 to start the season.
Yeah, there's times when you play the A's, and I guess most hitters are like this, streaky hitters. Vogt's going pretty well. He's a really good hitter. He's been an all-star the last couple of years for the A's. 14 home runs for the A's last year. Pretty good eye at the plate. Not a wild swinger.
Yeah, and that's a description you could use for a lot of A's hitters. I mean, that's sort of a organizational philosophy that has hung on for many years now. The 2-1, and he hits this ball well out to right field. Mazzara, though, is there, and 2 away.
Yeah, the key to that pitch, it was a changeup. 2-1 count. He's looking fastball. AJ sold his changeup like it was a fastball. Joyce Vogt thinks it's a fastball, swings a little early, and hit it right off the end of the bat. You look at the location, you say, ooh, that was a pretty good pitch to hit. And it would have been if it was an 88, 89 mile an hour fastball, but 80 mile an hour changeup caused him to hit it right off the end.
Griffin off to a nice start, and Jed Lowry fouls off strike one. Lowry, a veteran switch hitter. He's had a couple of tours with the Oakland A's, and he maybe as much as anyone in their lineup today has gotten off to the real good start offensively, but batting 6th today. And a whole 0-2. He's cooled down considerably in the last couple games, it looks like. Ball and 2 strikes now to Lowry. Now Griffin pitching with real conviction in these first couple of innings. And he's getting ahead with strike one and not messing around. I mean, he keeps laying it out in the general area, hoping to get contact, and he's gotten it. He did get a little defensive help in that first inning. Yeah. Bouncer right side, and Odor takes care of it, and it's another 1-2-3 inning. Nice start for AJ Griffin, and a beautiful night here in Arlington. Rangers lead 3-0. Inning Rangers fans, download the Fox Sports Go app and take Rangers baseball with you wherever you go. If you can't catch the games on TV, you can stream them live on your mobile device with a Fox Sports Go app presented by Hyundai. Bottom of the order in this second inning for the Rangers. Joey Gallo takes one in the dirt. It'll be Gallo, Elvis Andrus, and Jurickson Profar. After a 3-run bottom of the first inning, got things started. Alcantara, the big right-hander. It's a swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Good look at that split finger changeup that he uses. Good change of speed, good movement on it too. All nose dive away from him.
That's low. 2-1. Alcantara, big guy. 6'4", 221 pounds. And he can bring it with a little velocity. Those in the upper 90s. That one at 93. And he's gone 3-1 now, Joey Gallo.
He's got pretty good movement on his fastball too. That looked like a strike, but it tailed down and away and out of the strike zone. So much movement, it didn't stay in the strike zone. And Joey laid off it.
Swings at that one, and it's a full count. It's a second 3-ball count at the early stages tonight for Alcantara.
That really is a key for a pitcher, to be able to throw something other than your fastball. Most hitters are pretty good fastball hitters, and in that count, they're looking for a fastball. If you throw him something else, it's a tough pitch to hit. Did it again, but he couldn't throw it for a strike.
Well, another very good at bat by Joey Gallo, his 3rd walk in the young season. So man on for Elvis Andrus. This was Wednesday night, 7th inning off Otero, and yeah, he knew it. Elvis off to a really nice start. 4 hits in those 3 games, a double, a triple, a homer. Batting 8th tonight, and he takes a strike from Alcantara.
I thought Elvis had a breakthrough year last year. Been in the big leagues for quite a while, but he hit .302. First time he's ever hit .300. But more than that, instead of being the kind of hitter that lines base hits to right field, he hit the ball with authority. He probably hit 6 or 7 balls harder and farther last year than at any time in his career.
Runner going, the pitch fouled off, so Gallo will have to return to first. I was mentioning that he had the single, double, triple, and home run in that series against Cleveland, so he's hit for the season cycle, as has Mike Trout and Brandon Belt.
Yeah, I guess the earlier in the season you hit for the season cycle, the better off. If we're at the All-Star break and we're showing that, yeah, chances are you've got a guy that doesn't hit many triples up to the plate. But so that's why I love to see Elvis off to this kind of a start. Breakthrough year, hit .300, drove the ball, hit some balls 420 feet. Off to a good start average-wise, and his home run went 410, 412 feet. So that's great to see. Picking up where he left off.
Well, last year, the Rangers clinched the West Division title in Oakland, and they did that in September like 23rd, 24th, right in there. The next day was that lineup with, you know, everybody, all the regulars got rest except Elvis. He hit 2 home runs off this guy, Raul Alcantara, and so I was kind of curious how this matchup might look tonight for him. It's 2-2.
I just remember a couple of the balls that he hit. He hit that ball in Houston over the center fielder's head. Not sure whether it was Marisnik or who was playing center field, on Tal's Hill, which is, I guess, no longer there. But you know, I know he could never have hit a ball earlier in his career like that. He hit the ball in the upper deck in Seattle that went well over 400 feet. He just had a number of balls that jumped off his bat, went a long distance like a middle of the order kind of guy. And throughout his career, while he's hit 280, 270, 290, right around in there, he's never shown that kind of ability to drive the ball. He did that last year, and he's already done it once in 3 games to start the season. So that's nice to see. Hopefully it's the hitter he has become.
Well, this is a really nice at bat right here. Fell behind 0-2 and has worked it back full.
And it's a good at bat for Joey too. The 3-1 split finger changeup he chased, and then the 3-2 pitch was the same pitch and he took it for a walk. So that was a good at bat as well.
Gallo has the only stolen base so far this year for the Rangers, and he was running earlier in this at bat. So Alcantara will endeavor to keep him just a little closer. He's going, and the 3-2 pitch, bouncer up the middle. Semien has only one play, and they get Andrus one away. So putting Gallo in motion prevents the potential double play. Base running's been a big part of this game early. Hey, head out to the ballpark tomorrow night. First 15,000 fans, 14 and older, will take home a TXU Energy Rangers lightweight jacket. Enjoy spring baseball in style. The Rangers and the A's. And get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Gallo out there at second now for Jurickson Profar, starting left fielder tonight. Coming into the season, Jeff Bannister had basically a three-headed monster for left field that included Jurickson Profar. He had the start opening night. All three left fielders, Ryan Rua, Delano DeShields, the other two, played beautifully in spring. The throw goes off of Gallo into center field. He'll go to third and hold.
That was an interesting play. Joey got back to second, bent down, ball hit him in the back, and softly rolled into center field. Now, Rangers with one out, chance to pick up a run. Semien didn't have a chance. He was there, had his glove in the right place. But Joey ducks. Nothing Semien can do. The ball hits him right in the number, right on the 3, and into center field it goes. So a walk with a runner moving, a ground ball got him to second. Pickoff throw off the back for an error. Infield in. Great chance for Profar to pick up another run.
Everybody up close. Try and cut Gallo down at the plate on a ball in the infield, but that does open up then extra opportunity for Profar to sneak one by the infield. If you hit it sharply, really help a guy. So he had a great World Baseball Classic for the Dutch team, but still looking for his first hit of the regular season. The 1-1, and that's off the plate. Boy, for Alcantara, he's logging some pitches early in this one, closing in on 40. "24 years old. His first opening day roster in his first start of 2017. This one is outside. It's 3-1.
And not only is it a lot of pitches, the strike to ball ratio is not very good either.
Well, Jeff Bannister talked about it earlier today. Said for his team to have success against Alcantara, he felt like they needed to make him work, needed to take some pitches, figuring he would give them something to hit eventually. The 3-1, and that's ball 4. So Profar takes the walk, second of the inning.
The key right now for the Rangers is basically don't swing at the split finger changeup, because he's not able to throw it for a strike. When he throws it behind in the count, you might get the hitter to chase it because he's looking for a fastball. But for the most part, it's not that close to the strike zone right now.
No, it's 3 straight 3-ball counts for Alcantara. He lost both Gallo and Profar. Andrus eventually rolled out. Carlos Gomez, by the way, he had a pretty nice first inning. It started defensively, went up and got that home run, brought it back. Then at the plate, thought it was a bloop single. Not for Carlos Gomez. Great hustle and then forced a missed tag at first and got in just by the tag at the plate with the great hustle. Man, he was pretty geeked up there in that first inning. Certainly sparked this club in the early goings. We'll see if he can continue it here against Alcantara. And that one got him.
Well, it wasn't a walk, but same thing, only quicker. One pitch. Ball tailing in, right above the knee. That's pretty good evasive action to still get hit by the pitch by Gomez. Gomez turned his leg so that it was more of a glancing blow. Got the base and not quite as much pain as he would have had if he didn't move his leg that way.
Bases loaded spot for Choo. Gallo, Profar, and Gomez out there. One away in the inning, and there's ball one. Choo grounded out on the first. We talked about some of the Oakland A's hitters and how they're conditioned to work counts, make a pitcher work, and Choo's one of the best in the game at doing the same thing. Shoots it foul, 1-1. Choo is just 2 for 10 in the series against Cleveland, but was still getting on base at a .333 clip, and you can see does pretty well with the bases loaded. One. That one sent to center field, base hit. One run is in, but they'll go station to station as Choo drives home the 4th run of the game.
Good job by Choo. Nice short compact swing. That's kind of his hallmark. Doesn't have a big leg kick, not a lot of movement, and the short quick swing lined it into center field. And we've seen Choo at times when he's been healthy, when he gets hot and he's taking the pitches that are out of the strike zone, getting his walks. He's a huge on base percentage guy, but more than that, he's a guy that can drive the ball and get big extra base hits for you too.
So they're still loaded, and there's still only one out. And Nomar Mazara. Did he go after that one? He did not. 1-0. And Nomar reached on that ultimately reviewed play as Bob Melvin has to take a look at the replay, and it was a failed fielder's choice. He watches one away. It's 2-0. Boy, already some action out there. Jesse Hahn warming up for the A's.
46 pitches, only 22 strikes with 24 balls. So it's been a struggle for Alcantara.
Well, that's got Bob Melvin a little worried.
The A's have 8 relievers, only 3 extra men. And Jesse Hahn has been a starter, so they've got a guy that can give you length early out of the bullpen.
There's a strike. 2-1. Well, Mazara, by the way, came in 7 for 11 against right-handed pitching tonight. Now, technically 7 for 12, as that was scored a fielder's choice in the first. The 2-1, and he hits this ball hard to center field. Davis going back, looks up, gone! A grand slam for Nomar Mazara. And that was a bomb.
Yeah, that ball jumped off his bat. It's one thing to get a pitch in your wheelhouse and pull it. a long way, but to take a pitch out over the plate and hit a streaming line drive 415 feet to left center field, that's a whole different ball game. Well, we've seen him go to right field for 439 feet, and now to dead center field over the 404 sign. And that wasn't a fly ball. That was like a line shot to left center field that just happened to go 410 feet. So 2 walks, a hit batter, then a bullet to center field for a single, and a grand slam hit just as hard to left center field. Up, about belt high. When you look at the strike zone, to me that is really something that distinguishes the strength of today's player as opposed to the player of 40 or 50 years ago. I mean, technically that pitch is on the outside corner, so you wouldn't think that it would be that bad a pitch. Now, it was up a little bit, but still, it's on the outside corner. It's not anywhere near the middle of the plate, and he swung at it like it was right down the middle of the plate at 410 feet, and it got out of here in a hurry.
First career grand slam for Nomar Mazara. He also, it looked like really kind of a easy swing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was not, it didn't look max effort.
He's pretty much a smooth looking guy at the plate anyway. When he swings as hard as he can, it looks smooth. He's not one of those guys that falls down when he swings. He's under control. Not a guy that shows a lot of emotion either.
The big chill. 3-1 pitch.
Take a look at what you're talking about, Dave, from the side view. Big leg kick. And picture perfect swing. Pitch out over the plate, didn't try to pull it, went with the pitch.
This one popped up into left field. Chris Davis coming in. And that is the second out of the inning. So big grand slam by Nomar Mazara. For a little bit more on that, let's check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, and talking to Nomar today before the game, he said the biggest thing for him is to learn to make adjustments while still being confident in his approach. He wants to stick to his routine, but he realizes he's got to make adjustments throughout the season based on how the league adjusts to him. Obviously, here in 2017, it appears he's adjusting just fine, guys.
Yeah. It definitely appears that way.
It's a 5-run second inning and an 8-0 lead. Here's Odor, who had the 2-run homer in the first inning.
You know, a lot of the press briefing before the game with Jeff Bannister centered around people asking questions about Nomar, what Jeff sees in him this year, how he finished the year last year. Was he a little bit tired physically? Was he a little bit tired mentally? Didn't finish quite as strong as he started. Pitchers made adjustments. Hitting in the big leagues is not easy. So what happens in your sophomore season when you come back out there? Well, early returns are pretty good. But as Nomar said to Emily, there still will be times during the season where you have to make adjustments. Pitchers get scouting reports. They see how you're swinging the bat over the last 8 or 10 days. Scouts tell them that. And depending on what kind of pitches you're hitting and whether you're pulling the ball or hitting the ball the other way, they're going to make adjustments. They're going to pitch you a different way. But he seems to be the kind of guy that wouldn't be prone to long slumps or pitchers making adjustments because he uses the whole field and he doesn't miss making contact that frequently.
Odor flies out to center field and it ends the inning, but not before the Rangers pick up 5 runs, including 4 on this swing from Nomar Mazara. What a start to 2017 for the second-year player. Rangers as we go to the third. A.J. Griffin, our Kubota Power Stats tonight, brought to you by Kubota. A great run with Oakland, 21-11 in 2 seasons, really a season and a half. And when you put that in context, after 32 decisions in Oakland A's history, Vida Blue and Tim Hudson, I mean, wow, pretty good.
I remember when Vida Blue got called up to the big leagues. Didn't have a radar gun back then, but if they did, it was probably 94 to 98. And he got people out without much other than his fastball. He had a breaking ball that he threw, but didn't throw a changeup. He pretty much came right at you with his fastball. Threw enough breaking balls to keep you honest, but you could go up there and say, okay, I know I'm going to get a good fastball to hit, and still not do much with it.
2-strike pitch, and Plouffe bounces it sharply to Elvis Andrus. 1 away. All right, 1 gone. Let's check in with Dana Larson on our first Chevy game break. Yeah, thanks, Dana. Always good to do that on the home opener. I think they've won, like, that's 9 straight home openers now, I believe, for the Detroit Tigers that they have won.
Saw Mark McLemore up here before the game, asked him how Pudge was doing. He said Pudge was in Detroit to throw out the first pitch today. So Pudge brought him some good luck today.
1-0 pitch, and Alonso fouls this one over to the left side out of play. Oh, what a beautiful scene. First weekend of the regular season.
That's a great shot.
Two and 1 to Yonder Alonso. A great defensive first baseman, but has never really put up the offensive numbers that you normally associate with the power hitting first baseman. 2-2 now the count.
No, he's more of a contact guy. He doesn't strike out a lot. Last year he hit .250, only hit 7 home runs, hit some doubles. Good defensive first baseman, but you're right, Dave, not what you would expect from the prototype at first base. More of a power position.
He works the count full here. A.J. Griffin is really effective in the early going today. Not a full count to Alonso, and he loses him with ball 4. That puts Alonso on for Marcus Semien. Hey, this Sunday, the first 15,000 fans 14 and older will receive an AT&T Rangers umbrella. Come see your Texas Rangers, battle it out with the Oakland A's, and take home this springtime giveaway. Get your seats today, TexasRangers.com, by calling 972-RANGERS. Semien takes one up. Three for 11 with a double, but he's done a really good job working the count at the bottom of the order for the A's. Pops this one foul out of play. That's 4 walks to lead the American League in this first week of the season.
Yeah, if he adds that to his program, then it gets even better. He's already a kid that hit 27 home runs as a shortstop. If he adds walks and on-base percentage to the program, he just becomes even better. Much improved defensively thanks to the work he did with Ron Washington. We used to watch him every single day we played the A's, 19 times. See Wash out there one-on-one with him way before the rest of the players got out there, working on his mechanics defensively, and over time it paid off. He became a better defensive player at shortstop. He's a building block for the A's.
Tight 2-2. Yeah, he went from 35 errors 2 years ago to 21 last year. That's a big improvement.
I remember when Eric Chavez won a Gold Glove, he gave one of his Gold Gloves to Wash for the work he did with him. And I got a feeling if Semien ever gets to that point, he would do the same thing.
Well, he takes one off the left arm, and now 2 men aboard.
It's a changeup that just gets away from AJ. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that is the speed you like to get hit at. So one quick out, 7 up, 7 down. Now a walk and a hit by pitch. One thing you don't want is, with that nice lead, have a shutdown inning. Keep the A's off the board here in the 3rd inning, and definitely make them hit the ball to get on base.
Well, Griffin now turns the lineup over to Rajai Davis, who flied out to center field back in the 1st. And he fouls this one off for strike 1. Davis back with the Oakland A's. Last year, really, he delivered one of the iconic moments in that World Series.
Sure did.
Game 7. But now back with the Oakland A's, picked up as a free agent this offseason. And he takes a high strike. Count 0-2. He doesn't like it.
Now, hitters don't like that call, but that, that's a strike. It showed up on the grid right at the top of the strike zone. It's a cut fastball. Not a pitch a hitter likes. Tough to hit. The hitter, I think all the time is going to think that's a ball. But the grid said differently.
And he chases strike 3. That one's going to sit in his craw a little bit tonight as he strikes out for the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, that was a perfect pitch after a high pitch at the top of the strike zone. A slow curveball. That thing just keeps on breaking. You wouldn't think you could make a pitch break that sharply and go that slowly. As a hitter, you know you've got 2 strikes. You have to swing at it. Looks like a strike. Looks like it's going to be above the knees until right at the end it ends up in the dirt. You end up swinging at the breeze.
That's a big strikeout, and now Matt Joyce. And he takes strike 1. Another real slow curveball. How about that? 66 miles per hour. We like to say that is below hitting speed at the major league level. That's just, most guys aren't comfortable there. Another big slow curve. 1-1. This is a guy who gets it done in a much different style in today's game. I mean, he stands out for the way he pitches against the grain. AJ's 1-1. A little tight.
It definitely makes the fastball look that much quicker. That last fastball was 87 miles an hour. The slow curveball before it was 66 miles an hour. So you've got a differential of over 20 miles an hour. And the differential and the disrupting the timing of the hitter is really what it's all about. Love to have the velocity, but you can get by without it if you're able to mix up speeds, locations, movement, all the other components that go into the pitch. Total difference 90-66, 24 miles an hour. Best fastballs, slowest curveball.
Well, big pitch here at 3-1, and that ball's hit high in the air down the right field line, and if it stays fair, it's trouble. And that one's gone. A 3-run homer for Matt Joyce. And it's an 8-3 game.
Well, we were talking about AJ before the game. We mentioned that throughout his brief major league career, he's been a little bit prone to the home run ball, which is okay. Bert Blyleven gave up a lot of home runs. He's in the Hall of Fame. Fergie Jenkins gave up a lot of home runs. He's in the Hall of Fame. But they didn't walk anybody. And so giving up a home run is not the end of the world, but the walk and the hit batter in front of that home run turned it into a 3-run homer instead of a solo shot. Just barely stayed fair, but definitely had long home run distance.
So now the bases are cleared, and Ryan Healy stands in, takes strike 1. Griffin's always been that guy. He'll deal with the home runs because largely, as you point out, when he gives them up, there is nobody on base. But this inning, the command has gotten away from him a little bit.
Right.
And that one will frustrate him. 1-2 the count. Healy came up last year as a rookie, and this year promises to get a lot of at-bats. So he did a nice job against the Rangers last season. Not likely that he's seen a big curveball quite like that one or that one. Strike 3 looking. So Griffin gets a couple of Ks in the inning, but Matt Joyce gets the A's back in it with a 3-run homer. And we go to the bottom of the third. Top as we go to the bottom of the third, and we invite you to get ready for the first Throwback Thursday, April 20th. The Rangers taking on the Kansas City Royals. First 10,000 fans will get a Papa John's Texas Rangers Throwback Thursday collector pin. On this date only, fans also receive a replica 1972 Rangers cap. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972 Rangers. Well, just like that, Jesse Hahn is the new pitcher tonight as we go to the bottom of the third inning. So a short one for Alcantara.
Yeah, the Rangers had a pretty good go of it through 2 innings. Jesse Hahn's job is pretty obvious. Come in and try to slow the Rangers down. Hahn came over to the A's in a trade with San Diego. Half a year with San Diego, first half a year with Oakland. He did a pretty good job. And an ERA in the low 3s. Last year he struggled.
Lucroy sends that one now to Chris Davis in left field, 1 away.
Spent some time on the DL, spent some time in the minor leagues last year. When he was with Oakland, he had an ERA just a little bit above 6.
Well, he's been used so much as a starter. It was interesting to see him recalled on Wednesday, and with the idea that he would be used out of the bullpen. John Axford was put on the DL. Hahn called up, and it was the first question everybody asked of Hahn was like, well, wait a minute. Aren't you a starter? 37 of his 39 appearances in the big leagues were as a starter. And he said, yeah, I'm just glad to be up here, and I think I can help out of the pen. And so I'm fine with that, wherever they need me.
You know, as a starting pitcher in a long man role, you can get yourself today. If he pitches well, he could easily pitch 4 or 5 innings today, which is just like a starter. And the better you pitch as a long reliever in that role, the better chance you have to get back into that starting role where all middle relievers would rather be.
1-2 the count on Joey Gallo. Gallo walked in the second inning. Started that wild 5-run second which the Rangers scored 5 runs on just 2 hits. The 1-2 pitch. And this one lifted high in the air, left center field. Chris Davis getting back there, waiting on it, and makes the play. Thing looked heavy. Hey, a little reminder, little tease. Stay tuned for tonight's T-Mobile unlimited data, unlimited baseball break. And that will be coming up a little bit later in today's broadcast. Might have something to do with this Rangers offense. I don't know. Can't say for sure. Here's Andrus 0 for 1 tonight, and he takes a strike. Mentioned that Axford was placed on the disabled list on Wednesday for what they're calling a strained shoulder. And they had an MRI on Wednesday. It didn't reveal anything additional. He is on the DL, and they're going to try and move him along conservatively. That should be a big part of their bullpen before this year is done. Little pop-up back of second. And Semien is there. Completes a 1-2-3 inning for Jesse Hahn. Striking difference between Hahn and Alcantara. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Texas Ford. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer. Ford is the best in Texas. A lovely scene in Arlington. And nothing nicer than seeing brothers share a little bit in the stands as we get going here in the 4th inning. Chris Davis, that's it. What's he got, almonds? Pretty good dude, taking care of his brother. Davis 0 for 1. Struck out in the 2nd inning. And as you pointed out tonight, Tom, he is the guy you circle on that lineup card. Do not give this guy anything to hit.
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to disparage the rest of the hitters, but he is the one guy in their lineup that can turn the game around with one swing of the bat. They've got other hitters that are more like contributors. They show some power. But this guy's legitimate middle of the order guy.
And that's what we're talking about. That one stroked out to left field and gone. A solo shot for Chris Davis.
Well, he can hit a lot of different pitches too. The ball, he's not a huge guy. He's probably bigger when you get up next to him than he looks like from here. But compared to some other power hitters, he packs a punch in a compact, strong body. that's a quick bat. No leg kick. Very still before he swings.
42 home runs last year. And that gives him 3 already this year. And it just seems like, I mean, it's not that it seems like, it's just a fact. He hits most of them against the Rangers. And he's not a big guy, Tom, as you were pointing out. 5'11", 192.
Yeah, he's compact and strong.
1-1 to Stephen Vogt.
Yeah, obviously when you hear Chris Davis as a home run hitter, you think of Chris Davis in Baltimore. Spell their name with different letters. Chris Davis with a C. This Chris Davis with a K. But boy, when they make contact, they're equally as powerful. You put Chris Davis in Boston or New York hitting 42 home runs, or Los Angeles or Chicago, people would know a lot more about him than they do playing for the A's. That's just the way it is.
Curveball misses. It's 2-2 on Stephen Vogt. Yeah, and you think about that, even prior to coming to Oakland, you know, he was doing some pretty good things in Milwaukee. But the National League version of where a good hitter can be lost. A roller up the middle, and Vogt the base hit in the 4th inning. Doug Brocail on the left, Jeff Bannister watching with a very keen eye what A.J. Griffin has going. Griffin gave up the 3-run homer to Matt Joyce in the 3rd inning. Now the solo home run to Davis, that base hit to Vogt. Jed Lowrie, the switch hitter, pops this one up back behind home plate and well up into the stands. Opening game in this 3-game series, and these two teams will see a lot of one another. What was that tidbit we came across this afternoon? These two teams have gone 10-9 each twice apiece in the last 4 years. That's amazing. So evenly matched, or so it would seem.
38 and 38. Or no, what is it? 10, 10, 20, and 18. Yeah, 38 and 38.
Yeah. And then how about this one? The road team has had the success. The A's have really played well here since 2013, but the Rangers have turned it right back on them out at the Coliseum. Very even.
That's about as evenly as you can be matched over 4 years. And you compare that to what the Rangers have done to the Astros, who have been a better team, obviously, than the A's have the last couple of years. The Rangers have owned them the last couple of years. Just funny how baseball works like that. The A's have matched up very well against the Rangers over the last 4 years, at a time when the Rangers have been a much better team.
2-1 pitch, and Lowrie went 2-2. Lowrie and Chris Conroy talking that one over. How about that? 5 major league teams who had more wins on the road than they did at home. That was definitely Oakland. 2-2. Boy, that didn't miss by a lot. Alex Claudio already warming up for the Rangers. We're only in the 4th inning. A starter Raul Alcantara was knocked out after 2. And there's ball 4 to Lowrie. And that'll get Brocail out to the mound.
Well, we talked about AJ and how good he felt in spring training. His last couple of starts in spring training were 5+ innings, gave up a couple of runs in each start, which is pretty easy to do in Arizona. But he was throwing the ball well. He felt great. So far, this game has to be a little bit of a disappointment to him, coming into the season feeling as well as he did. He has struggled in this game with the long ball, struggled a little bit with his command. 2 walks now and a hit batter. And in the 3rd inning, a walk and a hit batter after one out. Both of them scored.
Lowrie chatting it over with Mike Aldretti over there at first base. And now here's Trevor Plouffe. He grounded out to start the third inning. Eight, 4 Rangers. Griffin's first offering to Plouffe. Big swing and a miss at that curveball. We were talking earlier, Tom, about this concept of the cycle for a guy like Elvis Andrus, one of 3 guys in the big leagues who has hit for the season cycle so far. Single, double, triple, home run. Not exactly the type of thing that's remarkable at all once you get, past a week into the season. Maybe a lot of guys who will have done that. But we have a cycle in tonight's game. I was just noticing. We've had a solo home run, a 2-run shot, a 3-run homer, and a grand slam, and we're in the top of the 4th inning.
I guess that's a different kind of cycle.
Goodness. Last year, a record-setting year for home runs in Major League Baseball. Also a record-setting year for strikeouts. 1-2 is fouled off. A lot of people feel like we'll have much the same this year. Might be more home runs again this year than we had last, and same thing for strikeouts. The early indications are power is going to be there.
I think it's been a trend in baseball that you see more and more hitters unfazed by the count and how they swing. In other words, they're going to go up there and go for it, whether the count is 3-1, 2-0, or 0-2, or 1-2. And there's not as much emphasis on making contact. Guys strike out at a greater rate now than ever before in the history of baseball. So I think you look back and more hitters adjusted with 2 strikes to try to make contact with a less powerful swing, because you didn't want to strike out. Now there's not much of an adjustment made by a lot of players when the count is 0-2. They're willing to take the strikeout for the attempt to drive the ball in the gap or hit a home run.
Plouffe pops this one foul. The count stays 1-2.
Home runs turn games around. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, and we're seeing players, not only changing those approaches with 2 strikes. Much has been made recently of guys who have, I guess, decided to shun old school hitting techniques and theories, going about business their own way, feeling that the game really asks you to hit fly balls and hit them out. If you can hit 30 or 40 really good fly balls a year, that's how you get stuff done.
Yeah, today that's true offensively, but to really be the player that fits into lineups today, you have to bring a little bit more than that defensively. You have to be able to run a little bit, throw a little bit, and play solid defense at a position. And I guess the example, good strikeout right there. The example would be Chris Carter. AJ is going to get a strikeout. Looked like on a fastball right here. Let's take a look. Yep, high fastball, just threw it by Plouffe. Chris Carter led the league in home runs last year, National League in home runs. Couldn't get a contract. He signed a $3 million one-year contract with the Yankees. So he had the power, and you love to see that, but he really didn't have the position and the defensive ability to go with it.
For a strikeout for Griffin, and that ball hit sharply into right field. That will load the bases. Vogt was locked up between second and third, and the throw going all the way through the plate. My goodness.
Where he was throwing that ball. The guy at third was not going to try to score because he went back to second. Nomar unloaded a strong throw about halfway between home plate and third base.
Bob Melvin was out quickly to ask what that hit, and for good reason.
You see the runner at second base. Vogt is going back towards second in case it was caught. And here comes the throw, and obviously if you're the backup man like AJ on that, you're backing up the play. You're going to back up home plate where he was, and he had a zip to his left. And he didn't catch it. but it hit something and came back. I don't know if it hit a camera. Sounded like it hit something metal.
Yeah, it hit that little green metal door next to the camera well. And the reason that Bob Melvin came out to ask for some clarity on that was because if that hits a camera and bounces back in, well, then the ball's technically out of play. It would have bounced out of play, and it hit that green door right there. That was the clank you heard, and AJ's done. He didn't look quite right once he got up, and after a conversation on the mound, that'll be it for AJ Griffin. He'll leave with the bases loaded and 1 out. A run across with the Rangers leading by 4. Claudio coming on. Is going to careen next. Fox Sports Support is proud to team up with Girls on the Run and their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved as a volunteer or participant at the upcoming Girls on the Run 5K in your area by visiting foxsportssupport.com. So the bases are loaded and Alex Claudio comes on. Now, because Griffin left for injury, Claudio gets as many warm-up tosses as he wants, and that's all he wants. He's done. What a key piece of that bullpen he was last year for the Rangers, as you witnessed the 2.79 ERA, but really some clutch performances down the stretch.
Well, the Rangers are looking for a clutch performance right here. I mean, this game is all of a sudden an entirely different ball game. It went from 8-0 to 8-4 with the bases loaded and only 1 out.
There's Marcus Semien, right-handed hitter, and Claudio, this is outside.
So you've got a 9th place hitter who's really not a 9th place hitter. That's where he's hitting in the lineup, but he had 27 home runs last year. So Alex is in this game in a key part of the ball game, early in the game, but still a key part of the game.
And the 1-0 just misses, ball 2. Semien was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. And then came around to score on the home run by Matt Joyce. And that one is tight. Claudio in danger of giving the A's a free run here. Waggles himself set, runners at every base, and that one grew for a strike.
I don't know if Semien would agree with you on that one, Dave, whether it was grooved or not, but we'll take it.
Semien will hit into the occasional double play. And bounces this one over the mound. Odor will grab it, step on the bag, go to first, double play.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-0 count. Turn it into a double play and no runs.
Simple game. So the A's will have to settle for 1 run. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. That's how you get out of trouble.
Tonight's State Farm winning combination, the glove and the hustle of one Carlos Gomez, starting things off right in the 1st inning. First with that defense stealing a home run, and then probably what would have been at least a double. The defense really shining through as Gomez sets the tone early in the top of the 1st, then in the bottom he gets it done with his legs, legging out that double and then hustling home to score the 1st run of the game. Carlos Gomez, that glove and hustle, tonight's State Farm winning combination. Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. No doubt about it. I mean, what a spark he was at the beginning of this game as Jurickson Profar takes a ball and a strike. Profar batting 9th, leading off the 4th inning in an 8-4 game.
You look for things that spark a team, that get your teammates to rise to the occasion and get pumped up. And the things that he did in the 1st inning are 2 of the things that do that. You go up against the wall and make a play like that, which may have saved a run, looked like it had a chance to be a home run. That pumps up the pitcher for sure and the rest of the defense. And then you stretch a single into double. That pumps up the team. And then you score from 3rd base with a great slide, come into the dugout, gets their adrenaline going, gets the juices flowing.
1-2 pitch.
I'm not going to say that's why they scored 8 runs, but it definitely inspires the team when you see that kind of both those kind of plays, a great defensive play and hustle on the bases like that. Makes everybody else want to do the same thing.
Now Profar with a lengthy at bat here, doing battle with Jesse Hahn in relief. Full count pitch on the way. And he'll hit this one high in the air, center field. Davis converging from center with Davis from left. Surprisingly, and you know where we're going with this one, it was Rajai Davis who made the catch. So the Rangers will be taking on the Kansas City Royals Saturday, April 22nd. It's a night game, 7:05 start here. Fire up the grill because the first 15,000 fans 14 and older will be treated to a Rangers barbecue die-cut spatula, courtesy of Lynx. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Well, Hahn come in and retired the first 4 batters he has faced, and now we'll see the top of the order. Carlos Gomez, who had that double and then was hit by the pitch. 1-1. Well, Hahn works relatively quickly. He runs the count out of 2 balls and a strike on Carlos Gomez. We mentioned earlier, called up on Wednesday and appearing in his first game of the year tonight, and this one lashed foul. His 2-2 to Gomez. A little bit outside. Hahn, good-sized young man. He's 27 years old. The right-hander is 6'4", 215 pounds. And he's got some velocity. Tapper by the mound. Semien with the charge, the throw, and he gets Gomez.
Yeah, I don't remember Hahn throwing that hard the last time that we saw him. We've seen him start games against the Rangers, but the last 4 pitches he's thrown, fastballs anyway, 96, 2 at 97, and 1 at 98. So he's coming in trying to make an impression. He's obviously aware that Alcantara struggled tonight. Figures there may be an opportunity in the rotation at some point in time, and what better time than right now to come in and throw 4 or 5 innings and try to make an impression. Pretty good changeup right there, 10 miles an hour less than his last fastball.
Well, what we've seen so far tonight has been pretty impressive. Deals with Chu, who's 1 for 2 tonight, and a broken back grounder up the middle off of Hahn's foot, and Chu will have an infield hit.
Boy, he had everything going at him that time. He had the ball going at him, and he had the bat going at him, and that's just such a dangerous thing. We say it almost every game, every year. When those bats break and they spiral like a helicopter in the direction of a player, it's like a knife flying at you. That jagged edge going at that velocity. It's right off the end of the bat. Half the bat stays in his hand, and watch the end of it. Well, he never saw the end of it because he was bent down trying to catch the ball, hit him in the foot, and the sailing bat went right over his head.
Now batting for the Rangers, the right fielder, Nomar.
Talk about requiring hazard pay. Man, my goodness. It has been a weird first week in Major League Baseball. Stephen Piscotty, notably with the St. Louis Cardinals, the route he took around the bases the other night in St. Louis, which was one for the ages. Hit on the elbow to get to first, hit on the other elbow, stealing second, then hit on the head as he slid into home plate. Here's Nomar Mazara. Runner aboard, had the grand slam in the second inning, and continues a torrid start to 2017. Second big league season. And we talked a lot already tonight about that second season, that year of adjustments for guys, and Nomar, he had to go through it last year. He was up long enough last year. He had to experience some of those adjustments already. He watches a close one there, but a strike at the count, 1-1. Rangers got 3 in the first, 5 in the second inning. And Mazara hits this one off the handle, high in the air to center field. Rajai Davis wants it. He takes it, and the inning is over. The Rangers leave a man in the 4th inning, but still lead by 4. home runs, and you like this game. Ruge with a 2-run shot, Mazara the grand slam. Even the A's getting in the act. Matt Joyce, Chris Davis hitting homers. 8-4. This was the second inning. Nomar Mazara.
And what a beautiful swing. It's a fastball right on the outside corner. Doesn't get much of the plate at all. It's up, which helps. But he did the rest and definitely inspired his teammates with that line shot grand slam 400 feet just left of center field.
Pretty impressive. Now 5th inning. Top of the order for the Oakland A's. And Alex Claudio, who came in to get the final couple of outs in the 4th inning. He misses outside with the ball. He came in when A.J. Griffin left the game, apparently hurt after sliding in foul ground, trying to save a ball from going out of play.
Well, you mentioned the clutch performances that Alex had last year for the Rangers time after time. And he certainly came into a situation where a clutch performance was required. The Rangers had given up 4 after starting out 8-0. Bases loaded, 1 out. Claudio started out with a 3-0 count. Got a called strike and then got Simeon.
Little bloop to center, and it's tracked down by Gomez, 1 away.
To hit the tapper to Ruge, who turned it into a double play. It's a huge job coming back from a 3-0 count to get that double play.
Baseball on FS1. The O's bats heat up as last year's American League home run leader Mark Trumbo steps to the plate against Brett Gardner and the Yankees. Baseball's back. Yankees and Orioles. Coverage beginning Saturday at 2 Central on FS1 or streaming live on Fox Sports Go. 1 out here in the 5th inning. And here's Matt Joyce, who had that big 3-run homer in the 3rd. Claudio, interesting seeing Claudio come in relief of A.J. Griffin, because in an era when everybody's a hard thrower, those are the 2 soft tossers for the Rangers. I mean, everybody, like Jesse Hahn coming in here today, 97, 98.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. That's everybody's game, is to really light up the gun.
Yeah, velocity is the name of the game. When scouts go to look at high school and college players, that's the first thing they look at is velocity. Now they track spin rate of breaking balls, become a very important part of scouting. But essentially, especially if you're a right-hand pitcher, if you're a right-hand pitcher and you don't throw, I'll just toss a number out, you don't throw 92 on a radar gun, scouts aren't going to get that excited unless you've got something really good to go along with it. Really good curveball, impeccable command, great sinking action on your fastball.
Bouncer up the middle, and that one smothered behind second, but no play for Elvis Andrus. Joyce is aboard with a 1-out single.
This is hitting the ball to the right spot, right off the end of the bat, and a little squibber with spin on it, right between the shift. It really wouldn't matter whether he caught that ball or not. It wasn't going to be a throw.
Ryan Healy hits one sharply to short. Andrus will take away a hit.
So Ryan Healy hits a rope and he's 0 for 1. And Matt Joyce hits one right off the end of the bat and about a 20-mile-an-hour dribbler, and he's 1 for 1. That's frustrating. Hit the ball right on the good part of the bat. It feels great, and before you take 3 steps, you're out. Almost ready to throw, but Matt Joyce at first base didn't have time to get too far off the bag.
All right, Chris Davis now. So Tom, you're a hitter. They like to say, oh, it all evens out.
You know what, I have no idea if they do even out or not. I would say from a personal standpoint, I got as many cheap hits as I hit hard balls that were caught. So from my standpoint, I think it does. Now, if you're Julio Franco, the year he hit 344, I'll guarantee you it didn't even out, because he didn't hit many softballs that year. He hit the ball hard, whether he got a hit or whether he made an out. He hit the ball hard enough to hit about 360 that year. So I don't think it evened out for him.
Slow roller short. Andrus will shovel it to second base.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah. Inning over. Man left, and we're halfway there tonight. 8-4, Texas. Tonight, and a fan's choice 20-game plan is the most flexible way to enjoy the 2017 Rangers season. You choose 20 of the games that work best for your schedule, and if you can't make it to one of the games, it's no big deal. Your 20-game plan includes a flexible exchange policy. And if you'd like to learn more about the details and benefits, just go to texasrangers.com/20-game plans. Bottom of the fifth inning, and Mike Napoli ropes one to short. And Marcus Semien is there to haul it in.
The second baseman,
There's our birthday boy, Adrian Beltre. Happy birthday. Our AT&T high-speed replay. This is Rougned Odor in the first inning. Two-run shot. Bat down, head down. He knew where that one was going. Third home run of the young season for Rougned Odor. He's 1 for 2 tonight. And takes a strike from Jesse Hahn. Well, Hahn continues to bring that very good velocity, 96, 97 miles an hour. First two pitches to Odor. Hahn made a lot of starts last year for Oakland, and there's a nice looking curveball. Man, as a compliment to that kind of velocity, that's a nice mix.
Now, when you take the best that he has to offer, that curveball, that may not be representative of all his curveballs, but that was a great one.
Odor smashes this one out to left center field, slicing away from Davis and up against the fence. Odor tiptoes into second with a one-out double.
That's how good the hitters are. After seeing a 77-mile-an-hour, really good, hard curveball, Hahn comes back with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, tails it away, and Rugi just takes a short, quick swing and hits a shot over the center fielder's head for a double. It's great to have velocity, but boy, it takes so much more than velocity to be a successful pitcher. These guys can hit the heat, boy.
Well, he has. What a start for Rougned Odor. Now here is Jonathan Lucroy, 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts tonight. And he takes strike one. And one of the guys that Jeff Bannister wants to see get going offensively. Lucroy now 1 for 10 for the year. Bouncer right back to Hahn, and he's got Odor hung up. Well, that was a good effort by Odor. Not a whole lot you can do there. So come up with a plan, try to execute it.
Well, if you want to see how to do a rundown on a ball hit back to the pitcher, this is exactly how you do it. So many times you see the pitcher field the ground ball and throw it immediately. Hahn shows no inclination to throw it. He goes toward third base so that Rugi has to go back to second and makes Rugi commit. And then all he has to do is tag him. So many times right now the guy throws it to second base and the rundown lasts for 4 throws. Hahn just calmly circles around, makes him go back to second. You don't want him to go toward third. The whole goal is to get him out and not let the hitter go to second base. And Hahn did it perfectly.
Now Gallo hits this one high in the air to center field, but right there is Davis to end the inning. A couple of well-struck balls, but nothing to show for it. We go to the 6th. Go to the top of the 6th inning. And Rangers fans, you can get $10 upper reserve box seats for most Tuesdays all season long, courtesy of Fox Sports Southwest. You can also add a $10 meal to your seats when you buy online. Go to texasrangers.com/specials and use a coupon code FSSW10 to reserve your $10 seats today. Okay. Great crowd here tonight on a Friday night. It's our first weekend of the regular season. Kick things off Monday night here against the Cleveland Indians. Took Thursday off, and now game 1 of 3 against Oakland. And Alex Claudio in relief tonight. Starts Stephen Vogt with strike 1. Claudio had to come on for A.J. Griffin, who we are now told left the game with mild abrasions on both knees and the palm of his right hand.
Well, it was a 100% effort to block that ball. Rangers got a little bit of a break on that. In fact, a big break. AJ did everything he possibly could to block that ball, but it still snuck by him, hit something in the camera well, and bounced back onto the field. If that ball stays in the camera well, because it was thrown from the field of play, that would have been 2 bases for the guys that were on base. That would have been a entirely different situation. That would have been a very fortunate hop. Great effort by AJ, but a little bit of luck on the way the ball bounced back out onto the field.
Ball and 2 strikes to Vogt, who has a hit tonight in 2 tries. Claudio gets him to roll over 1 foul. He'll do it again. Here's Tony Barnett, likely to be in this game at some juncture. Claudio came in to get the final 2 outs of the 4th inning. Reddy's in the 1-2. And that one fouled off. Yeah, so here's our view. That's what we see.
Now, we've watched so many games from this angle. I think this, if I went to a ball game, is the angle I'd like to sit at to watch the game.
There's no doubt.
Other people like to be right down close to the action where you can see the expression on the players' faces, and that's great too.
Liner caught by Andrews.
But I like the perspective that you get up here. You can see the jump that the fielders get. And we've kind of grown accustomed to this view.
You know, it's interesting though. Last year I sat in the stands for a couple of games, and I haven't done that for I don't know how many years, dozens of years. And even in the warm-ups, guys are just tossing around down on the field. It was shocking how much faster it looked down there as opposed to our perspective up here.
Yeah, it definitely looks easy from up here, easier. But I guess there's nothing like being close to the field. I know the several times that I've had the opportunity to be on the field right before the game started for pregame ceremonies, it just brings back incredible memories of what it's like to be a player right before a game. When you're walking up to home plate and there's 20 to 50,000 people in the stands, the excitement, and you know, even though I'm well removed from having been a player, the memory of that feeling comes back when you're down there. And even though you know you're not going to play in the game, the memory of having done it before is an incredibly nice feeling. So I've loved the few opportunities I've had to be close to the field like that. From up here, you're so far removed, you don't get that same feeling. Boy, down on the field looking up at the stands, and it's a great feeling. I think sometimes as a fan, you look down at the field and you say, well, the players are into the game. They don't really notice the fans that much. Believe me, when you're a player, you are concentrating on the game, but you notice the fans. You hear individual things that are said. You can make eye contact with fans occasionally. And when you're at home in front of a big crowd that's cheering for you, you feel it and you appreciate it.
Yeah, and a lot of guys have done a good job of making that point lately, that we need that energy.
Sure.
We need that lift that you guys bring. Here's the 3-2 to Lowry, and he'll work the walk. It's quite a little battle between those two. Time for another Chevy game break. Let's check in with Dana Larson. Yeah, thanks, Dana. A little toss over there to check in on Jed Lowry.
Yeah, walk from Alex is very rare. Last year in over 50 innings, he only walked 10 batters.
Yeah, one of his hallmarks last season. Again, not a guy who's going to overpower anybody. Trevor Plouffe showing bunt and takes a ball, and that's enough to get Lucroy out there to the mound. You know, back to that, you were talking about being on the field for those occasions. I've always kind of wanted to ask, when you were playing and you're down there with Ted Williams and some of these other guys, did you appreciate then the place that certain guys held in the in the scope of the game's history?
I did, because I grew up from the time I was 5 years old. I used to get we got the Springfield, Massachusetts Republican early in the morning, and I met the paper man to get that newspaper, checked the box scores, studied the box scores, knew the players, sent away for autographs way back when for autograph pictures. I knew every Yankee and basically every average, earned run average, standings. I knew all that. I collected baseball cards, so believe me, I knew who Ted Williams was. I was a Yankee fan. I liked Mickey Mantle. My sister and my father liked Ted Williams, so I hated Ted Williams as a kid. Loved Mickey Mantle, and then got to play for Ted Williams. So I think I would have been better as a player if I didn't know anything about baseball. I just came in, didn't even know who Ted Williams was, because for the first month or two, it took me a month or two to get over just looking at him going, can't believe I'm here with Ted Williams. I've got his baseball card, greatest hitter that ever lived. How do I merit being in the dugout with that guy? I mean, those are the things that went through my mind, and if I didn't have to think about that, I probably would have been a better player.
Double play, well turned again. Andrus, Odor, and Napoli. Napoli had to hold that bag at first to end the inning. And for the second time tonight, great job by Alex Claudio to get the bouncer and get him out of trouble. Sonic Slam inning brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. Tonight's jackpot worth $400 plus dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight the Rangers are hitting for Audrey King of Grand Prairie. Texas Ranger hits a home run this inning, showing $400, but if the Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, well, Audrey wins $25,000. Bottom of the sixth inning in a 4-run game, and the first pitch to Elvis Andrus is in there for a strike. Dave Raymond with Tom Grieve, Emily Jones. Great to have you along with us tonight, a Friday night, as Andrus slashes that one down the third base line, base hit. He'll turn for two. Chris Davis just digging it out of the corner, but Elvis will settle for the double.
Oh, what a good swing. Jesse Hahn has pitched well since he came into the game, and that was a tailing fastball, sinking fastball at 94 miles an hour. Watch the beautiful swing Elvis puts on this, down and in, and he hits that right on the sweet part of the bat. That's a ball that, if you take an average swing and you're not swinging the bat that well, you're going to get jammed and hit a little dribbler to third base. But Elvis kept his hands in, quick swing, and just clocked it right off the sweet part of the bat for a double. I'd be smiling too if I hit one like that. Didn't do that very often.
His fifth hit so far this year. He's out there in scoring position for Profar, who is still looking for his first. Profar 0 for 6 with a walk. He had that walk tonight, allowing him to score in the second inning.
Key part right here. Now you've got a man on second, nobody out. You want to get that man to third base, pull the ball on the ground. Or if you have to, bunt it to third base.
The corners are in. And he takes it outside, 2-0.
Yeah, you can pull it to first base and maybe not get the guy to third base. First baseman comes up firing. Now he's moved back a little bit. They might have anticipated the possibility of a bunt early in the count.
Holds off 2-0, and it's ball 3. Everything away on Profar so far in this at bat. Jesse Hahn pitching into his 4th inning in relief tonight, and his 3-0 pitch. That one is a called strike. A little off that one at 95. There's Andrus out at second base with the leadoff double. Hahn's 3-1. A swing and a miss. It was the first time in Profar's career that he was on an opening day roster and had the start Monday against Cleveland. The 3-2 pitch, and he swings and misses. That strike 3. So 1 out. And back to the top again with Carlos Gomez.
Jesse Hahn just basically threw fastballs right by him right there. Both fastballs, one's touching the other, right in the same part of the plate. Good velocity, good movement, little tailing action on those. And even though Hahn was behind in the count and it was a fastball count, he was able to throw 2 good fastballs and get Jurickson to miss both times.
Well, based on those numbers, can't you just sit up there and look almost fastball exclusively?
I think that's exactly what Jurickson did right there. It's obvious from the dugout that he's throwing mostly fastballs, and that graphic definitely showed that. But you know that as a player. You don't know what the numbers are exactly, but you see it. But then you get up there and you say, man, this guy's throwing hard, 94, 96 miles an hour. He's got some pretty good movement. But 3-1 and 3-2, he's looking fastball all the way, and he still threw it by him. So credit the pitcher for that.
Gomez lifts it to short center, drops in, base hit, and gets by Davis. Andrus around third. He'll score, and it's another hustle double for Carlos Gomez.
Well, Carlos got that one working for him tonight. Davis had a choice to make. Would he catch it on a hop, or would he try to catch it in the air? The runner at second, Elvis Andrus, had to stop and wait, so that if Rajai Davis played this ball in front of him, he probably could have kept it first and third. There's no way Elvis could have scored. He decided to go for it, and when he couldn't get it, Elvis scored easily, and Gomez gets to second base. You can see the choice he's making. He realized too late that he had no chance to catch it. He wants to slide, dive, and catch it, but it was too far in front of him. If he played it on a hop, he would have kept men at first and third, maybe kept a double play in order.
Now strike 1 to Shin-Soo Choo. 9-5 Rangers. 9-4 rather. They have a 5-run lead. That's where I was going. Here's a 1-strike pitch. And it's high. So Gomez has 2 doubles today, and both of them were hit way in front of the center fielder.
Yep. So that'll help as the season goes on make up for those hard hit balls. Now with exit velocity and everything they keep, you can pretty much determine whether your hard hit balls do even up.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm surprised when we look at some of those statistical analysis that they don't have that. Percentage of hard hit balls that are caught, percentage of softly hit balls that fall in for base hits. We can now answer that question with great data instead of just unofficial observation. Good curveball.
Choo down swinging. 2 out in the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Hahn.
I'm not sure what the A's will do as the season goes on, but based on what we're seeing tonight, Jesse Hahn definitely looks like a starting pitcher. That's a good hard curveball. In 2014 with San Diego, he went 7-4 with a 3.07 ERA. And then the next year with Oakland, in 16 games, he went 6-6 with a 3.35 ERA. So in about 170 innings over those 2 years, he was 13-10 with an ERA a little bit above 3. Last year, it was a struggle for him. He was 2-4 with an ERA of 6.02, spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. I'm not sure exactly what happened to him last year. But it would appear, at least in this game, he's throwing a lot like he did when he had success a couple of years ago.
1-0 pitch, and that one is smashed by third. Base hit. Good start at second for Gomez. He'll score without a throw on the RBI single by Mazara. He's driven in 5 tonight.
Tonight you just get a great advantage of seeing several different at-bats. I mentioned the at-bat against Cleveland when he hit the high fastball up and away down the left field line on the ground for a base hit. And that's pretty much the same thing. A ball away, he's not trying to pull it. He goes with a pitch, finds a hole with a fairly sharply hit ground ball. He's got a pitch out over the plate that he drove 400 feet. Saw one against Cleveland that went into the upper deck. He's just a kid that, for a young kid, makes really good contact and uses the whole field.
Deep in the hole at short for Napoli, but they're able to get him at first base. So the inning is over. Rangers pick a pair, though. Go to the 7th, up by 6. The large lead again. They led 1.8-0. Tomorrow, back at it again. Our coverage starts at 6:30. Kendall Graveman against Yu Darvish, as Darvish will make his second start of the regular season. Same for Graveman, who was pretty decent his first time out against the Angels. Darvish will no doubt endeavor to improve on the walk numbers from the opener against the Indians. So we'll have that for you right here on Fox Sports Southwest tomorrow night. Yonder Alonso takes a ball from Alex Cloud. I want to correct something I said last inning. The graphic got it right. Nomar Mazara with 6 RBIs. He got an RBI in the first inning on that fielder's choice that plated Gomez. Had the grand slam in the second, and then that RBI single a moment ago. Rolled down to first. Napoli will take it to the bag and get Alonso. Now, pretty good night. 6 RBIs, the 2 for 4 for Mazara. JP Arencibia had 7 RBIs against the Yankees. That was in July of 14. Starting to dig through the record book to figure out contextually what that means for Mazara. Strike on Marcus Semien. Well, Claudio's done a real nice job in relief, settled this game right back down again. 1-1. He came in to face Marcus Semien in the 4th inning. Bases were loaded with 1 out, and he got him to bounce into a double play. And he'll roll one again, this time to short. Elvis Andrus is there. Nice dig at first by Napoli. 2 gone. The top of the order we go, and down to the field we go with Emily Jones.
Well, we should know something more on Adrian Beltre tomorrow. He took batting practice again today. He's eligible to come off the disabled list, that new 10-day DL on Sunday. So depending on how he feels tomorrow, they'll make the judgment call tomorrow, probably later rather than sooner, as to whether or not he'll be back in the lineup on Sunday, or they'll give him that extra day with the day off, the travel day on Monday before things start on the West Coast, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. Obviously, it'd be very tempting just to say, take one more day, because it gives you really 2. He's pitched a little bit outside to Rajai Davis. Big key will be keeping that big fella healthy this summer. 2 out, nobody on here in the 7th inning. Sharply foul. Nick Aldretti had a duck to get out of the way.
Well, Alex on the verge of pitching his 3rd full inning after getting a double play to end the 4th. He could end up with 3 2/3, only thrown 40 pitches, and had the biggest pitch of the game. Bases loaded, 8-4 ball game. Got the double play from Marcus Semien. So much for the radar gun when you watch him pitch. There's an 84-mile-an-hour fastball, threw it right by Rajai Davis.
It's been a fun contrast tonight to see him get it done in a very different style. 2-2.
A change up and another out.
Weak roller, and Andrus is there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Alex Claudio, and he does it on 10 pitches. That's how it's done. We'll stand and stretch. 10-4. Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by AT&T Internet. Visit AT&T.com/keepcalm to learn more. (10-4) Rangers, bottom of the 7th inning. And So, you got to explain. Hosted a special event in the late fall here that required painting the dormant outfield grass. We were required to replace the sod this spring. Now, the difference in color is a result of the maturity of the seed in the new grass being behind that of the existing grass. The difference, we're told, is strictly aesthetic, has no impact to playability. And over the course of the first month of the season, the expectation, of course, is that the new sod will begin to match that of the existing sod. What you're actually seeing there is different colored grass, not painted. It was painted back in the day and it died, and that's why they put the new stuff in.
It really is good that you read that explanation, because if you came to a game, you could spend 3 or 4 innings trying to figure out what have the Rangers done to the field. What exactly is that? But it's totally random, and you just explained what it is. But I would have spent a long time trying to figure out what that is.
Well, I think the next explanation is what kind of event, right, that caused him to paint that grass. What was a golf? It was like a golf event, kind of like a top golf idea.
Right.
You hit the ball out there to the greens. That Fudgy the Whale out there in right field was a green.
Ah.
Right, and that's the kind of the whole area over there, the eye. Anyway, so it is definitely a little random the way it looks. Bottom of the 7th inning here. And a 6-run lead for the Rangers.
I wouldn't mind coming out here on an off day with a bucket of golf balls and just pounding away, see where you could hit them into the upper deck, and that would be fun. I don't think they'd appreciate the giant divots it would take, though.
Well, fly ball center field, and Rajai Davis is there, one away.
I remember in the old ballpark when they put up the big scoreboard in left field, Jeff Burroughs came out with a 2-iron. And you couldn't really tell. I mean, he was a great golfer. And he said that he could hit this 2-iron and he would hit right in the middle of the scoreboard. And so people that didn't know how to golf would say, no way you can do that. And he hit 3 balls and all 3 of them hit right in the middle of the scoreboard out in left field.
With a 2-iron?
With a 2-iron, yep.
Well, that's pretty good. It's Jonathan Lucroy. Now, I've always heard stories about Doug Rader, who was crazy. And
I wasn't there for these, but I heard the same ones.
The clubhouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, the driver in the clubhouse.
Tee up a ball in the clubhouse and tee off with people in the room. Ball be ricocheting around the walls into the lockers. Now, I never saw that, but I've heard the same rumor. I mean, you having worked in Houston probably heard it from a reliable source.
Yeah, that legend still lives, of course.
There are a few Doug Rader stories that probably aren't appropriate for the air. That one is one that we could fit in. But
about as close as you can get. That one even is borderline.
Yeah. Doug was a character, but he was a brilliant guy. Very high IQ, smart baseball guy, hard-nosed player. If you didn't have fun spending time with Doug Rader, you just didn't have fun anywhere.
2-1. Lucroy smashes that one into left field. Second hit of the season for Lucroy. Those are always big. All right, time for a Chevy game break. Let's check in again with Dana Larson. Okay, thanks, Dana. 10-4 the score here tonight, and Joey Gallo takes one low. Joey's 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. He has scored a run, and his last time up, he flied out to center field, but it was one of those swings where you thought for a moment, did he tie into another one? Of course, every time he makes contact, you almost have to anticipate it could go out.
Yeah. I was watching the other night when you guys were talking about the ball. I wish I was here to see it. I don't know if it was you or CJ made the comment. It looked like it was going to hit the roof of the home run porch. I'd like to have seen that one.
Yeah, it looked off the bat like it just might. And it seems ridiculous, but my goodness. Well, there's a fly ball center field, playable though for Rajai Davis. 2 out. The funny thing was, it was CJ who suggested it. Now, I thought it as it was going up. I thought, there's no way. But then when CJ said it, I thought, well, you know, maybe that is possible that a ball could get all the way up there. The next day we go to Bandy's office, and Bandy said, we all thought that thing was going to climb off the roof up there. I thought, okay, we weren't crazy.
Wow. I don't believe one has ever hit up there. There might have been one in batting practice. I didn't see it. I remember the All-Star game in 1995. Mo Vaughn hit one in batting practice that looked the same way, like it was going to hit it. But when the park was built, and the scoreboard on top of the home run porch, there was a little sign that said, "Hit one here and win a suit." Obviously, it was a joke, but there used to be a sign like that. I think it was in Ebbets Field, one of the old ballparks. So it was kind of a salute to the old ballparks to have that up there. But I guess you'd have to say, if anyone was going to do it, it would probably be Joey Gallo.
Yeah, he's got that power. They measured the apex of the flight of the ball to be almost 150 feet. There's a swing and a miss, and Andrews down on strikes to win the 7th inning. Well, the Rangers got a hit, left the man, and we have played 7. Rangers working with a very big lead. Now this is the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. And we're going to use this Unlimited Baseball Break to talk a little bit about what Nomar Mazara has done again today. You can see power, the story of the game today, and then Alex Claudio really doing a great job in relief, settling this thing down.
Yeah, obviously we've talked about it a little bit during the game, but it's so impressive to watch Nomar Mazara. We saw the home run that he hit the other day into the upper deck to right field. Today it was 410-foot line shot to center field. But then along the way, there's been a couple of hits against good 95-mile-an-hour fastballs up and away where he shot ground balls to left field. Tonight for an RBI, the other day for a double. It's just impressive watching him use the whole field and do things that you wouldn't expect a 21-year-old to do.
Yeah, he is some cool customer.
Yep.
Been very, very impressive. And you take a look at the home run he hit tonight, and it was really just such a fluid, smooth swing. And you know, you've said it. I mean, that's how he plays.
Exactly.
But our showstopper tonight. Take a look at this grand slam.
And that's the one we're talking about. And that's a fastball. It's belt high. It's up, but still the ball has tailing movement on the outside corner. And there it goes, I guess, 415 feet, 420 feet to center field. Just very impressive. The RBI single was a pitch away that he grounded into left field for a base hit. So been a very impressive game for a very impressive young player.
I picked up an RBI and a fielder's choice as well. 6 RBIs tonight. A 3-for-4 night, the grand slam. He's had multiple hits in every game in which he has played so far. What an impressive start. And it was just funny coming out of spring training, because that was one of the very few questions. Was what kind of reaction would he have to year 2? Would they make adjustments? Of course the league is going to adjust, but how will he handle it? And it's early. But my goodness, has he been impressive.
Well, when you listen to Jeff Bannister talk about him, he talks about his baseball IQ, which generally for a 21-year-old is not something that you talk about. Usually a 21-year-old is talking to the veterans, trying to learn the game. But Nomar is ahead of the game as far as the cerebral part of the game goes, and Jeff Bannister commented on that. So when you look at the smooth swing, he doesn't overswing. He uses the whole field. He has the baseball IQ that you like. Some people would say that's the 6th tool, is your baseball IQ, your instincts. You combine all that, and he just looks like the kind of guy that no matter what the pitchers do, I mean, he's not going to hit 400, but no matter what they do, he will be the kind of player that can make the adjustments that he takes. If you're a dead pull hitter and you strike out a lot and you don't walk very much, then you might have some problems when the pitchers make the adjustments. But he's the kind of hitter that should be able to adapt and make those adjustments.
Well, underway now in the 8th inning, and Tony Barnett has come on in this 8th inning to face the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. What a year it was last year for Barnett, with ERA just over 2. He made that transition beautifully, coming back stateside from Japan, where he spent 6 years and became a very successful closer in Japan, and the stuff is translated beautifully back here at the major league level. And Joyce pops that one foul out of play. A 2-2 the count on Joyce. He had the 3-run homer in the 3rd inning. He was robbed of a home run in the 1st inning and then had the infield hit. So he's had kind of a star-crossed evening here tonight. Breaking ball, and that one is lifted high in the air to straightaway center field, and Gomez will make the play. Hey, every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays from 8:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central, only on FS1. Alex Claudio, by the way, went 3 2/3 today in relief. Allowed a hit and a walk. He needed 42 pitches to get that done before turning it over now to Tony Barnett. A.J. Griffin 3 1/3 today. Look out, that one inside on Healy. Healy's 0 for 3 today, but off to a pretty good start with the A's. And a guy who has some real good power. Claudio's 2-0. Ooh, look out again inside on Healy, who at least gives it a little smile as he backs away this time. That one came in at 88 miles per hour. Still doesn't give a guy a whole lot of time to think. A high strike call for Barnett. Keep the at-bat going, 3-1. Yeah, Healy's a guy who DHing today. We may see him at third. We may see him at first in this series. He's going to play those 3 spots all season for the A's. And he fouls this one back out of play. Ultimately will find himself at first base probably next year. Yonder Alonso will be a free agent after this season, and Healy, young fella, will probably take over at first base for Oakland. He can play a little third though when needed. Payoff pitch and another foul ball out of play. Now Barnett fell behind 3-0, but has really battled back here after taking care of Joyce to start things. Right-handers 3-2, bouncer toward third, and that one is just foul. Boy, not by much. Ed Hickox, our third base umpire, right there on top of it though. Becoming an extended at bat here. This will be the 8th pitch to Ryan Healy. Well, Barnett made his first appearance of the regular season on Wednesday. Pitched a scoreless 7th inning in that game against the Indians. The payoff. And this one lifted to center field. That's where everyone's hitting it to center field tonight. Gomez waits. 2 gone. That's 13 outs that have died in center field. And we check in with Emily Jones.
Yeah, we've got our progressive fan of the game, and as a mother, I can really appreciate this one. It is Kristen Orlando. She's holding her 2.5-year-old, 35-pound son while 8 months pregnant and has managed to keep him asleep. Kristen, well-deserved. I will hand it to your husband. Well-deserved on the progressive fan of the game. And good luck on that baby and that baby.
Thank you.
Guys.
Man, fan of the game, fan of the year.
That is a big 2-year-old. That 2-year-old's going to sleep through a 3-hour ball game, get home, and be up all night. Soon as it's quiet, that kid will come to life.
Oh, man. Wow. Soothed by the...
That's a big kid.
Yeah. I bet the second she sits down, she probably wakes up.
Yep, pretty much.
1-1 to Chris Davis, who's homered tonight.
They're going to have to get a tape with crowd noise on it and tape it into his bedroom to put him to sleep from now on.
Barnett's 1-1 pitch.
This is where you hope you face Chris Davis every time. 10-4 game, 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, last year we mentioned the 10 home runs, 24 RBIs, all of that in 64 at-bats against the Rangers. It was a one-man wrecking crew. Barnett gets him to roll over one to short, and Andrus will take care of business. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 8th inning. Home runs been the story tonight. Plenty of them for both sides. Right now, the Rangers have used them to amass the 6-run lead. Yeah, there's tomorrow's starter, Yu Darvish, getting a look at these A's. Hey, follow the Rangers live with MLB.com @bat mobile app. You can stay connected to the game's best players all season long with game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more if you can believe it. Download MLB.com @bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Great crowd here tonight as we get underway, bottom of the 8th inning. 35,000, rather 34,235 here for the series opener against the Oakland A's. Profar bounces it down to first base. Right there for it is Alonso, and he retires Profar for the first out of the inning.
It's going to be interesting to see what the A's do the next time around when this rotation spot comes up. Obviously, it's only one start, but Alcantara really struggled tonight with his command and got lit up. Jesse Hahn, if he gets out of the 8th inning, is going to pitch 6 innings. Hasn't walked a batter, struck out 3. Gave up a couple of runs in the 6th inning, but he's thrown the ball really well tonight. Good breaking ball, hard fastball with good movement. Been very impressive. Working quickly, getting people out, not throwing a lot of pitches either. He's only thrown 64 pitches.
Yeah, he has done a really nice job. You were detailing his numbers from a couple of years ago. First in San Diego, then he went to Oakland and put up some good numbers in 2015. Then he got hurt into 2015. Really had some shoulder issues that lingered last year, limited him to 9 starts in the big leagues. Numbers weren't that good. But you do get the sense
maybe
that
he's coming back from that.
Perhaps he's getting healthy.
Yeah.
Boy, then they'd really have something as Shin-Soo Choo offers it the first pitch, and that one's just foul. Well, Jose Leclerc throwing out in the Rangers bullpen, so perhaps he would come on in the 9th inning. Barnett with a 1-2-3-8. A.J. Griffin started the game, 3 1/3. Darvish will have the ball tomorrow. One and one to chew. Having a good night, 2 for 4. He takes one in. There were questions, of course, again today about some of the pitching issues for the Rangers. And then there were some questions about the offense to Jeff Bannister. Questions about what he likes, what he thinks. And not surprisingly, he likes what he has seen so far. He's like, if we keep hitting with this kind of power, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the way the offense shapes up.
Well, he made the point that, the Rangers lost 3 games, but just like the Indians really challenged the Ranger pitchers, the Rangers did the same thing to the Indians. They didn't win the games, but they faced 3 really good starters, a terrific bullpen, and arguably the best team in the American League based on last year and the additions they made this year. He could have won all 3 games.
Upstairs, good at bat by Chu. And he draws a 2-out walk. Yeah, well, to your point, how about those first 3 games? Early in the game, wow. I mean, incredible. But the latter half. Now, the Indians, they've got a pretty good bullpen.
They got a real good bullpen.
And that might be what you're looking at right there.
Yep. And they've got a good starting staff, too. The Rangers had good luck. Good at bats against the starters. Knocked Corey Kluber around the first game. Salazar.
This game, though, has gone in similar fashion. I mean, 8 of the 10 runs scored in the first 2 innings.
Early off the starters, yeah. I think that's true with teams throughout baseball. You get to the relievers. It used to be get the starter out of there and just go to town on the relievers.
Right.
That's not the case anymore. Teams have power bullpens.
This one lined into left. What a day for Nomar Mazara. Pushes Chu to second base. Another hit for the second-year player.
This is probably a dumb thing for me to say, and I don't mean to compare him to this player I'm going to mention. But if you just looked at this game and watched him, you'd say he looks just like Rod Carew, only with power. Rod Carew never hit a ball 415 feet to dead center field like Mazara hit that ball. But when you look at him use the whole field the way he does, it's just very impressive for a 21-year-old.
Man. What a day. Here's Mike Napoli now. A lot of love for this guy here at Arlington. 0 for 4 tonight. The fans get a kick out of this. Now, he had that big RBI double in the 8th inning the other night, as the Rangers were trying to fashion a comeback on the Indians late. It'll be interesting to see how the fans react when he hits one out here, because you can tell they're bottled up and ready to go crazy for him.
I never batted in a game where the fans chanted, but if I did ever have that opportunity, I can't imagine how hard your heart would pound and how hard you would try to hit the ball hard. That just got to really pump you up. He's got to love it when the fans responding to him like that.
He's got Chu at second, Mazara at first. And it's 3-1. Great to see him back in a Rangers uniform. He was so good down the stretch in 2015. This, of course, his 3rd time through as a Ranger. Very comfortable here. Hans 3-1. A slow roller. That'd be a tough play. Plouffe charges. He's got it. And the throw pulls Alonso off, but he gets the tag on Napoli's back, and it ends the inning. Now Rangers leave a pair in the 8th. We go to the 9th inning. It was close. Wasn't going to happen. For our score, taking a look at what's coming up. Right back out here tomorrow night. Coverage beginning at 6:30. Darvish back to the mound. And then Martin Perez on Sunday afternoon. Our coverage starts at 1:30. Monday will be off, and then it's to the road for a long West Coast road trip starting in Anaheim. Darvish, no doubt excited to get back tomorrow and see if he can improve on his opening day effort. And Jose Leclerc, I don't know if he could improve on his season opening effort, which came on Tuesday night. 2 scoreless innings. He was great.
Well, he's got a live arm. He's got a great fastball. Throws a very interesting pitch. He doesn't throw a slider, but he throws a pitch that if you asked 100 baseball scouts what it is, and they didn't know, every one of them would say it's a slider. It's actually his changeup. One of his changeups. He can throw a changeup.
Yeah, that was it right there.
A changeup that goes to the left. He can throw one that goes to the right. And the one that goes to the left looks just like a changeup. I mean, looks just like a slider, but is a changeup.
And he's got that good heat. That one to 96, 2-1 the count to Vogt. Yeah, do you remember anybody who used to have 2 changeups?
I remember Jose Guzman could throw a changeup that sometimes went right to left like that, but not that looked like a slider. And really, you know, there's 2 ways of looking at it. He throws it and calls it a changeup. But when you look at it, if it looks like one, smells like one, to me, it is a slider. But there's Guzzi. But he says he doesn't throw a slider, that it is a changeup. He grips it in a way, it comes out of his hand, it breaks like a slider, but it's actually a changeup.
It's 2-2 to Vogt. Pops him up, and that one will end up in the seats. Well, who's the hard-throwing kid? And I'm gonna mess this up, but I was talking to Jason Castro last year about some of the bullpen arms that the Astros were bringing out last season. And there was a young man, he said, I don't know what's going to happen when he throws this particular pitch. Little roller, second base, and that one bobbled. Vogt is on via the error.
That looked like a curveball that Vogt was out in front of. Hit it off the end of the bat, and judging by, it wasn't hit very hard, by the last hop that it took, it must have a lot of tricky spin on it to bounce away from Ruge like that. Or either that or it hit the lip. Might have hit right where the grass starts. No, just took a funny skip, hit off the heel of his glove. A little bigger hop than he anticipated.
So a man on. And here's Jed Lowry. And he'll shank one foul. It was Michael Feliz. Michael Feliz. And Castro told me that when he, I think it was his changeup too, that when he threw his changeup, that Castro had no idea
which way it was,
which direction it may break.
Huh. Well, that guy throws hard too. It must be a load to catch him. We saw him a lot last year, and there were several times he came in and really threw great against the Rangers.
Part of the problem, as he described it, was that Michael Feliz didn't know which way it was going to break either, right? I mean, whereas Leclerc, I think, you know, I mean, he knows which changeup he wants to throw.
I think so.
He can manipulate it. Feliz he just didn't really know where it was going to go. 1-1. Beauty.
Yeah, that's it right there. It looks just like a slider.
One in the dirt, and Vogt is going to be able to advance to second base. It'll be a wild pitch. Puts a man in scoring position. Just kind of got away from Leclerc a little bit. You have the 6-run lead in this ninth inning. We all know the unfortunate endings the first couple of games with the Indians had, and how the bullpen was involved in that. And so you feel like you have plenty of room here, no big deal. But it sure would be nice, I know, in that dugout for it to be kind of clean. This one ripped down the right field line, foul. You know what I mean? Like you could give up 2-3 runs here and still get away with a win. But I think in that dugout, the real strong desire is let's make this nice and tidy and just get out of here.
Yeah, we don't want to see an interesting game. Nice quick inning and let's go. Well, Jose is throwing the ball fine. He's got good stuff, great arm, live fastball. Getting his feet wet at the big league level. You could tell he was pretty happy with his outing the other night. A big smile on his face talking to Jeff Bannister, who was very happy with his performance as well.
Bouncer up the middle. Odor with a second chance, picks this one cleanly, and the throw to first handled by Napoli. Good job over there, and there's one away. Vogt manages to get himself to third base. Chip Hale, the new third base coach for the Oakland A's this year. Ron Washington now with the Atlanta Braves. It gets Trevor Plouffe to the plate in this ninth inning. Well, on a night where just about everybody has gotten into the action offensively for both teams, Plouffe has been collared so far in 3 tries. In fact, hit into a double play in the 6th inning as well, and managed to hold off on that one. 2-0. Here comes Doug Brocail. I was looking out there earlier. You know, we do see some activity in the pin now. So Brocail chatting things over with Leclerc, and that's, you know, look, this is a big key for a guy still trying to get that command at the big league level. And we saw it at times last year. He did issue a handful of walks. He's got swing and miss stuff. Sometimes it eludes him. The swing and miss right there by Plouffe makes it 2-1. It's one of my favorites to watch those fans behind the plate. And I would I would do the same thing. Man.
Yeah, it gets there in a hurry. See if we can get one of them to flinch.
Look out.
Those guys are watching the game. You never know when there's going to be a hole in that screen. They're pretty confident there's not going to be a hole in a big league screen, but if I was at a high school game, I'd get out of the way.
Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
And that's the changeup. It looks like a slider. 84 miles an hour. Big leg kick, big stride, and not quite able to check his swing. And that's after seeing two good 96-mile-an-hour fastballs. He swung and missed at one. He fouled one straight back. You have to be geared up to hit that fastball. Instead, he got the changeup that looks like a slider.
Yonder Alonso sends it foul. Maybe his best swing of the night.
It's hard to hit a ball way up there. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. It's pulled down the right field line like Ian Kinsler used to pull him down the left field line.
The 8th place hitter, and this has been kind of interesting too. Certainly in the Indian series, the bottom two spots in the order were relatively productive. I mean, they were on base a lot. And,
yeah, they were.
And it's been the story for the Oakland A's in their 4 games against Anaheim to open the year. The top 2 spots didn't get on, but they were getting these guys, Alonso, Semien, they were getting on base. And again, tonight, that was the story for them. The 1-1. Clark misses low. Now Rangers are trying to get that miniature monkey off the bat, get that first win of the year. After an aggravating series with the Cleveland Indians, in which Cleveland left with all 3. Well, Clark's 2-1. And that one ripped over first. Fair ball, and heading into the corner. Gets Vogt home from third. Picked up by Mazara out there. Alonso to second, and he's in safely with the RBI double, and it makes it a 10-5 game.
Shortstop Marcus Semien.
So again, the 8th place hitter. That's the 3rd time that Alonso has reached base safely tonight. This time drives home a run as well, and it gets Marcus Semien up. The Clerk asking for time here. Wants to tie his shoe. A 97 with the heat for Leclerc. Maybe the biggest at bat of the night, I mean, you could argue, was Marcus Semien in the 4th inning.
I would say, I would agree with you.
Hit into a double play in the 1-strike pitch. Just up and out. Now Leclerc, the fourth pitcher tonight for the Rangers. Griffin went 3 1/3. Claudio 3 2/3. And then Tony Barnett, a scoreless 8th inning. And this ball hit sharply but foul. Look out down there. 1-2 the count. All right, that'll get them up on their feet. One-two. Bouncer, first base side. Napoli feeds Leclerc, and the Rangers have their first win of the season. Leclerc gets it done, but it was a power display tonight. 10-5 Rangers over the A's.
Good pitch from Jose. Pitch on the outside corner. Semien was just able to make a little contact off the end of the bat, and routine play, but still a nice play by Knapp, who fielded it, got it to Leclerc quickly, and allowed him to catch it and find the bag and get the last out of the ball game.
And we can all exhale. Rangers shake hands tonight, win their first of the year, go to 1-3, and it's a win in Division II, which is also very big. Rangers Live post game is just around the corner here, presented by Frontier Communications. Dana Larson's, Mike Bassick, Mark McLemore. They're going to have interviews and analysis, opinion, stats, highlights. They'll break it all down tonight. We're going to break a few things down from the booth here as well. And a 10-5 win. You might even look at a couple highlights of some home runs tonight, because there were plenty of those in today's game. First, though, I'm going to do the right thing, and that is send it down to Emily Jones of the field.
Yes, Nomar Mazara, 6 RBIs, your first career Grand Slam. Safe to say that one felt pretty good today?
Yeah, you know, that's probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life, you know. Obviously, we didn't start the year how we wanted to, you know, but we came back today and put a lot of good at-bats together. You know, we hustle, and we play the right way, and we got the W. That's all that matters.
You seem to be so locked in at the plate 4 games into the season. What do you attribute that to? You can answer it right after this. So the Powerade tradition continues here in the first win of the season at home.
Yeah, it was cold.
Nomar, cold. What do you attribute being so locked in this early in the season to?
You just go out there, don't try to do too much, you know, look for my pitch and only the count, and just try to put a good swing on it.
Carlos Gomez really setting the tone early in this game with his defense in the top of the first and then the hustle in the bottom of the first. What did that do for you guys in the dugout?
Oh, it means a lot to us, you know, that's how we play the game, you know, especially him hustling around the bases and in the outfield, especially the pitching, you know, Claudio did a standing job and Leclerc too, so.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, Nomar, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Congratulations on the win, guys. We'll send it back up to you.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. What a night for Nomar Mazara. Rangers win it 10-5. Great job, Emily. For Tom Grieve, Dave Raymond. Hey, we're going to be back here in a minute to break down Mazara's night. First, though, we'll give it to the studio.